Good afternoon. Welcome to our daily press briefing online and live on EBS. Today is Thursday, January 7th. Before taking your questions, we have two announcements for you. First, I would like to call on Stefan with a reminder on the approval of a second COVID-19 vaccine in the EU. Stefan.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, rather. As you probably already know, yesterday the Commission granted a conditional marketing authorization for the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Moderna, which is the second vaccine to be authorized in the EU. This authorization follows a positive recommendation based on a thorough assessment of the safety, effectiveness, and quality of the vaccine by the European Medicines Agency, and it's endorsed by the member states. With this Moderna vaccine, we will now have a further 160 million doses. This comes in addition to the 300 million doses of the vaccine distributed by BioNTech Pfizer, the first vaccine that was authorized in the EU on the 21st of December. And more vaccines will follow. Europe has secured up to 2 billion doses of potential COVID-19 vaccines. As usual, you will find more information on our press corner. Thank you.
Thank you, Stéphane. Et maintenant, je passe la parole à Johannes qui a une annonce sur notre soutien aux scientifiques et aux chercheurs. Johannes.
Merci beaucoup, Eric, et bonjour tout le monde. Oui, nous avons de bonnes nouvelles du côté de la recherche. Le Conseil européen de la recherche a accordé 8,25 millions d'euros à 55 chercheurs dans le cadre de subventions dites preuve de concept. L'objectif de ce programme est d'aider les scientifiques à commercialiser leurs inventions et à stimuler l'innovation. Parmi les projets soutenus figurent un nouveau test peu coûté et très précis pour le Covid-19, mais aussi de nouveaux traitements de maladies dégénératives de la rétine et de la cécité, ou de nouvelles façons de partager le savoir-faire culturel dans une société de plus en plus diversifiée. Comme toujours, vous trouverez plus d'informations dans notre Daily News. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Johannes. Ceci nous amène à la fin de nos annonces et donc j'ouvre la session aux questions et je passe la parole à ODILE.
Oui, bonjour. Merci, Eric. Suite aux tragiques événements du Capitole et cette attaque incroyable sur la démocratie américaine, quand on pense à la stratégie de la Commission pour l'Afrique, est-ce que vous n'allez pas être obligé de réviser un peu parce que on constate que effectivement, la Chine, qui a déjà 38 pays sur le continent africain avec les Belt and Road Initiative, et qui en 40 ans a réussi à sortir 850 millions de Chinois de la pauvreté. Est-ce que effectivement, comment arriver à essayer de promouvoir notre modèle démocratique dans toutes ces circonstances. Et bon, merci.
Merci Odile. Ta question semble toucher sur une éventuelle concurrence entre différents modèles de gouvernance. D'une part, la démocratie telle qu'on la comprend dans notre monde occidental, d'autre part, un modèle chinois, si je comprends bien ce que tu es en train de dire. Et tu sais que nous avons toujours dit ici en salle de presse que nous voyons nos relations avec la Chine selon un prisme à plusieurs facettes, dont un, effectivement, concerne le fait que nous sommes finalement des rivaux en termes de système de gouvernance. Je ne pense pas que ce soit notre rôle de nous servir ou de prendre comme exemple les événements qui se sont déroulés à Washington hier comme base de référence. Je voudrais simplement souligner le fait que la présidente de la Commission européenne a inscrit dans ses priorités politiques le fait de devoir renforcer la démocratie en Europe, car c'est surtout cela qui compte pour nous, c'est le fait de pouvoir nous assurer que la démocratie européenne s'adapte aux défis de l'âge moderne, de l'époque que nous vivons. Et à ce titre, je peux rappeler que nous avons adopté un plan d'action justement pour défendre le modèle démocratique européen le 3 décembre. Donc je crois que la question centrale, c'est que pouvons-nous faire, nous, en Europe, pour soutenir la démocratie et la renforcer face aux défis, et bien entendu, coopérer avec les États tiers, avec nos partenaires en Afrique et ailleurs, sur les valeurs que nous souhaitons projeter. Y a-t-il d'autres questions sur les événements qui se sont déroulés à Washington hier? Oliver.
Hi, no, sorry, actually on WhatsApp, Facebook matters, so I'd like to come back to that later.
Okay, just hold on 1 second. Let's see if there are other questions on the US. That does not seem to be the case. Are there other questions on foreign relations for us today? Anna.
Yes, hello, good morning. I have a question about Venezuela.
Yes,
in the council statement, Juan Guaidó has been presented as a leader of the opposition, and I would like to ask you to explain why he's not recognized anymore as the interim president of the country.
Thank you, and I pass the floor to Peter on this issue.
Hi, good afternoon, Anna. Thank you. Well, first of all, maybe I would stress one thing, that the EU does not recognize or not recognize representatives or regimes or countries or governments or administrations. This is a competence of individual and each member state. So this is on the issue of recognition. We can recognize processes such as elections. For example, in case of Venezuela, you know very well that we didn't recognize the elections and their results in December as free and democratic. So we are not recognizing the procedures, we don't recognize the results, and as a consequence, we don't recognize the institution which was formed based on this process. But when it comes to recognition of people and representatives, this is really competence of the individual member states. On the declaration itself, this is text agreed and adopted by 27 EU member states. So the text is capturing the position of the EU, and the position of the EU is saying that we consider Juan Guaidó and the members of the last democratically elected institution, which is the outgoing National Assembly, as particularly relevant interlocutors with whom we will continue working with them in search of peaceful, sustainable and democratic solution to the Venezuelan crisis.
Thank you, Peter. Are there other questions on Venezuela? Anna, you have a follow-up?
Please, but in the past, in other statements, Guaidó was mentioned as president, and now not anymore. So there is a difference, and I would like to understand why this evolution.
Again, I think the declaration is quite clear what it is dealing with and what it says. So we believe that this declaration made very clear our views on Juan Guaido's standing once the mandate of the National Assembly elected in 2015 expired. But again, this was the text agreed and adopted by all 27 member states. So really not up to me to go into interpretations. What's in the text is the position of the European Union. Maybe to add and preempt any other follow-up questions on this issue, the issue of Venezuela will be discussed at the forthcoming Foreign Affairs Council this month. So there you might have more answers. But at this stage, I would really stick to the text of the declaration, which was again agreed and adopted by 27 member states of the EU.
Thank you. I think we can move on to other foreign relations issues, and I pass the floor to Christian.
Oui, bonjour. Excuse-moi, mais je dois être un peu bouché, Peter, parce que moi, je ne trouve pas du tout la déclaration claire. Et elle est tellement pas claire que dans beaucoup de médias, alors je sais qu'il y a des interprétations politiques qui sont possibles, mais dans beaucoup de médias, il était écrit hier que l'Union européenne avait lâché Juan Guaidó. Donc ça, c'est ma première question. Est-ce que l'UE a lâché Juan Guaidó? Et sinon, quel est son statut? Parce que effectivement, aujourd'hui, il y a eu des élections, vous ne reconnaissez pas ces élections, il y a un nouveau Parlement, vous ne reconnaissez pas cette nouvelle Assemblée, vous reconnaissez l'ancienne, donc ça veut dire que vous considérez que Juan Guaidó est toujours président de l'Assemblée sortante, qui est pour vous la seule qui est valable. Et donc son statut est effectivement celui de président de l'Assemblée du Venezuela. Ou alors est-ce que vous considérez qu'il est un des nombreux dirigeants de l'opposition du Venezuela? Merci.
Merci Christian. Je pourrais seulement répéter qu'est-ce que je dis déjà sur la position de l'Union européenne sur Juan Guaidó qui a été formulée dans cette déclaration. Donc je peux répéter que nous considérons Juan Guaidó et les membres de l'Assemblée nationale sortant comme partenaire particulièrement pertinent et important pour nous, et nous allons continuer notre engagement avec ces partenaires parce que la priorité maintenant est continuer l'engagement de l'Union européenne dans tous les chemins pour trouver une solution pacifique, soutenable et démocratique pour la crise en Venezuela. Et on est déjà engagé dans contact pour avoir les discussions aussi dans le cadre des groupes internationaux de contact pour Venezuela et aussi dans le groupe de Lima, en addition de les discussions dans le cadre du Conseil des affaires étrangères cette mois.
Merci. I now move to Momchil, who has a question on foreign affairs, I believe.
Good afternoon. My question is related to Russia. On 28 December, at the end of last year, the Russian authorities for the first time designated individuals as foreign agents. 5 Russian citizens were designated as foreign agents. Does the European Commission have a comment about this matter?
Peter. We seem to have...
Yes,
Peter?
sorry, now it should be working,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Momchil. Over the Christmas period or over the holiday period, we issued already a statement on the issue. So I would refer you to that statement, but I can very briefly recap that, of course, we don't agree with this legislation and we don't agree with the overall process on this foreign agents law. And we are urging Russia to stick to their obligations stemming from international commitments. But again, I would really refer you to the exact text of the statement we issued on the issue.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. I see no further foreign affairs related questions for us today, and so I come back to Oliver. Oliver, you have the floor.
Hi. Yes. Well, WhatsApp announced that from, I think, the 8th of February onwards, all the data, the personal data of its users will be transferred to Facebook, or will be, well, probably not physically transferred, but will be accessible to Facebook. So that includes your phone number, your address, your IP address, and also the contacts you have that you use through WhatsApp. There's no possibility for people to opt out. So if you want to keep using WhatsApp, you have to accept that Facebook is using these data for its commercial purposes, of which we are quite well aware. So my first question related to that is, does the Commission think that in light of this move, its authorization of the takeover of WhatsApp by Facebook was justified, or that in light of this, actually the statements and the presentations by Facebook were probably not correct and not honest? So that's the competition angle. And then the data safety question. We all use this, and also you in the Commission use this in order to communicate with us and probably amongst you. In light of this move, and also in light of how Facebook is known to have abused EU data protection and breached data protection rules and so forth, do you still think it is safe for the Commission to use WhatsApp from next month onwards in order to communicate internally and externally? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your first question is certainly for Arianna, so I pass the floor to her.
Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Oliver, and everyone. I hope you can hear and see me.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I think so. Okay, so as you know, in 2014, we have cleared the acquisition of WhatsApp by Facebook. We had, of course, communicated on it and why we had cleared the transaction at that time. All I can recall at this stage, and I promise that I will get back to you if I have further information later in the course of the day, is that in 2016, we have actually fined Facebook for some misleading statements and not complete information in the context of the merger procedure. And this statements really concerned the technical possibility of automatically matching Facebook and WhatsApp's users' identities, which actually already existed in 2014, but were not mentioned to the Commission. So in 2016, we have actually fined Facebook 110 million euros for this incorrect or misleading information. If I have more, I'll get back to you later today.
Okay, thank you very much. And I will pass the floor to Johannes on the question related to the use as a Commission tool or by Commission staff.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, indeed, Oliver, sometimes we reply to colleagues of yours on the means of communication they choose. So sometimes we reply on WhatsApp, but internally, WhatsApp is not the communication tool that we use. Already 1 year ago, I think we had the opportunity to clarify that the Information Technology and Cybersecurity Board of the Commission is recommending the use of Signal. So this is the application that emerged as safe in terms of security and privacy, and this is what we use internally, for example, in the SPP, but also more widely, of course. So this solution supports the digitization of the working environment in the Commission while respecting security priorities and standards. The use of Signal is proposed as a safe alternative in cases where no equivalent corporate tool is available. So there is no corporate tool, so we use Signal. WhatsApp is not forbidden to use, but it's for example, if you have a personal private conversation with your phone. But once again, for work-related matters, we use Signal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure that Alexander's question will be in the same area. So Alexander, go ahead.
It's kind of a related question. So, of course, I'm also interested in your response to the question specifically on WhatsApp data sharing, but my question actually concerns the question of what happens with the messages. So I'm just writing a piece and I have looked at how the Ombudsman, Emily O'Reilly, recently gave an opinion on the question of whether SMS, WhatsApp messages, other messenger messages needs to be archived in the Commission archive to be requested under Regulation 1049/2001. Ms. O'Reilly said in her response to Frag den Staat, a German organization, that the regulation on transparency is regardless of the form of in which a message is being sent. But the Commission replied to me on another inquiry that currently there is no technical framework to even save SMS messages or WhatsApp messages in internal communication. So my question would be, will the Commission react to the Ombudsman and start archiving SMS and WhatsApp messages, other messenger messages?
I'm not sure that we are able to answer that question here on the podium, so we will come back to you Alexander bilaterally on this. What I can say is that indeed what is important is the content of a conversation, not the medium through which this conversation is being held. This is what the regulation says, and therefore the rules that are supposed to be applied. If something is considered like a phone conversation with no specific contact exchange, then not. If there is specific policy-related content, then it should be archived. Whether it's then technically feasible or not, we will have to come back to you on whether we are doing something on it or not. Okay, I give the floor to Christian, pardon, who is the only one with his hand raised. Christian, à toi.
Oui, c'est une petite question pratique. Je voudrais rebondir sur l'intervention de Johannes. En fait, est-ce que vous nous recommandez, à nous qui sommes des utilisateurs et qui communiquons avec vous, de basculer nos communications sur Signal et d'abandonner WhatsApp qui n'offre pas les garanties de sécurité? Merci.
Johannes, est-ce que nous avons des recommandations pour le public de manière plus générale?
Oui, merci pour la question. Non, on n'a pas de recommandations à faire. Si vous avez des doutes, je pense que la meilleure adresse, ce serait peut-être vos autorités de protection des données nationales. Donc, ce n'est pas notre rôle vraiment de commander ou déconseiller certaines utiles applications. Mais voilà, j'ai informé sur les conséquences que nous avons tirées en tant que commission pour nos échanges à nous. Mais voilà, merci.
Merci. Ou évidemment aux structures de management de l'AFP. Christian, tu as un follow-up?
Non, mais je comprends bien que vous ne pouvez pas faire une recommandation sur notre usage privé. C'est pour vous. Est-ce que effectivement, pour faciliter les communications avec vous, vous nous recommandez plutôt de basculer sur Signal, ce qui nous permettra d'avoir des réponses beaucoup plus rapides que de rester sur WhatsApp où parfois on reste dans le bleu parce que vous ne pouvez pas l'utiliser, c'est tout.
Non, Christian, je crois qu'il y a une incompréhension là. Il n'y a pas d'interdiction pour nous de nous servir de WhatsApp dès lors que un journaliste nous contacte sur WhatsApp. Bien entendu, nous répondons sur WhatsApp. Si vous nous envoyez un message par SMS, nous répondons par SMS. Si vous nous envoyez un message par Signal, nous répondons par Signal. Donc, de fait, à vous de décider dans quelle mesure ou sur base de quel, ou en utilisant quel instrument, vous voulez nous contacter. Il est clair que si vous nous contactez par Signal, nous serons tout à fait en mesure de vous répondre. Et comme effectivement c'est un outil que nous essayons de déployer de manière la plus large possible à l'intérieur de la Commission, c'est certainement quelque chose que nous accueillerons favorablement. Donc si tu souhaites te mettre en contact avec nous par Signal, n'hésite pas à le faire et nous serons en mesure de te répondre. Okay, I now open the floor to other subjects, and I give the floor to BAHRKE.
Yeah, hi. Bjarke here from Politico. I just got a quick question to see if there's a reaction from the US Treasury's investigations into digital services taxes, specifically in Spain and Italy. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure whether it is for Miriam or for Dan at this stage. Miriam.
Yes, I can repeat what I said yesterday. We still have not received any notification from the US authorities, so we cannot comment further at this stage.
True, you had answered the question yesterday. Apologies for that. Thank you. Any other questions for us today? That does not seem to be the case, so thank you very much and see you tomorrow.